Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Bachelor in Paradise's Jonathon Johnson appears to be there for the wrong reasons. Fans are unimpressed with how he has performed on the show. However, they believe there are other reasons he could be there, and they are not seeking a relationship. Jonathon is most known for his appearance on Gen Tran's season of The Bachelorette. Has he moved on? Continue watching to learn more about this issue. Jonathon Johnson left a lasting impression on The Bachelorette. He arrived dressed in a medical gown, with his face concealed. This was something viewers should remember. However, he made it deep into the season. Fans liked him on the show. He and Gen Tran became close again after that, and it appeared that they had formed a good friendship as a result of everything. He supported her during her time on Dancing with the Stars. So fans were thrilled to see him on BIP. They hoped he could find true love, as he had not found it with Jen. However, this does not appear to be going as anticipated. Fans now believe that Jonathon is on Bachelor in Paradise for the wrong reasons. He does not appear to have any good contacts, which does not make fans optimistic about his goals. Then BIP friend-zoned Alex, Jill, and even ally Joe, who was quite into him, and treats Leah as a stopgap at best. It appeared that he wanted Kat, but he was really simply trying to get a rose to remain. However, I believe the producers are well aware of this. Why else would April have wasted her rose on him? What bothers me is that he can't even pretend to be interested in anyone. Does he desire clout? Just want to be on television? He just wants to be on television and turn every performance into an appearance on a greater scale. Jonathon appears to be alienating fans. Viewers don't think he's interested in finding a girlfriend. It's possible that he came on the show for fame and money instead. However, it's also possible that he doesn't feel any ties. Regardless, fans dislike him on the show and would prefer to see him go home. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you believe he's there for the wrong reason? Comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the situation. The early days of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 had already been defined by unexpected twists, cross-generational drama with the inclusion of Golden Bachelor alums, and an ever-growing cloud of suspicion that certain contestants weren't really there for love. But no cast member embodied that suspicion more than Jonathon Johnson. Viewers remembered him vividly from Gen Tran's season of The Bachelorette. His quirky entrance in a hospital gown and surgical mask had been one of the most memorable moments in recent franchise history. At the time, his sense of humor felt fresh, self-aware, and charming. Jen had laughed instantly, and the two quickly built rapport. Even after she sent him home late in the season, there was no bad blood. In fact, the two had remained friendly, with Jonathon showing up in the audience to cheer her on during her stint on Dancing with the Stars. That warm, post-show camaraderie is partly why fans greeted Jonathon's arrival on the Paradise Beach with so much optimism. Many truly believed this would be his chance to find lasting love, perhaps with a fellow Bachelor Nation alum who shared his playful energy. The sandy beaches of Costa Rica, this season's new filming location, seemed like the perfect backdrop for Jonathon to break away from his quirky sidekick image and step into a genuine romantic storyline. But within the first week, cracks began to show. Viewers started noticing that Jonathon didn't seem to be forming meaningful connections. Instead of seeking out intentional conversations, he floated from one casual chat to another, often making surface-level jokes and quickly moving on before things got personal. He was friendly enough, no one could accuse him of being rude or standoffish, but there was an unmistakable emotional distance in his approach. At first, it seemed harmless. Maybe he was just slow to open up. Maybe he wanted to get to know everyone before making a choice. But by the second rose ceremony, patterns emerged that had fans questioning his motives entirely. Jonathon had friend-zoned Alex, Jill, and even ally Joe, 3 women who had shown clear interest in him. Ally Jo, in particular, was baffled. She'd gone out of her way to plan a thoughtful conversation spot near the bar, even stringing fairy lights between palm trees for a cozy vibe. But Jonathon, while appreciative of the effort, had responded with a polite "you're such a good friend" before pivoting the conversation to which cocktails were strongest that night. The situation with Leah was even more eyebrow-raising. Leah hadn't been one of his top interests when they first met, but after he failed to develop sparks with anyone else, he began spending just enough time with her to remain in contention for a rose. Fans quickly picked up on the dynamic. "He's treating her like a human life jacket," one Reddit commenter wrote. "He's not into her, he's just trying not to sink." Then came the Kat situation. On the surface, it looked like Jonathon might finally be catching genuine feelings. He was seen pulling Kat aside, smiling more than usual, and engaging in deeper talks. But the timing was suspicious. His increased interest in Kat coincided perfectly with the days leading up to another rose ceremony. When Kat ultimately gave her rose to someone else, Jonathon didn't appear heartbroken or disappointed. Instead, he seamlessly pivoted back to Leah. It was enough for eagle-eyed fans to conclude that Kat had been less about romance and more about survival strategy. Behind the scenes, producers seemed fully aware of what was happening. April, one of the most beloved and outspoken Golden Bachelor alums, ended up giving Jonathon a rose when he was otherwise at risk of elimination. Viewers speculated endlessly about whether this was her own decision or a subtle nudge from production to keep him on the beach for storyline purposes. April would never waste her rose like that unless someone told her to, one ex, formerly Twitter, user wrote. "They're keeping him for the drama, but it's not even fun drama, it's just annoying." From that point onward, Jonathon's edit took a turn for the worse. He was increasingly shown lounging around, talking about social media followers, and making passing comments about potential influencer deals after the show. In one particularly telling IDM In the Moment interview, he remarked, "Look, paradise is great exposure. You never know what opportunities might come from this." It was exactly the kind of soundbite that fuels the wrong reasons narrative, and it spread like wildfire among the fanbase. By mid-season, Jonathon was becoming one of the least popular cast members. His Instagram following had grown noticeably since filming began airing, and many fans began to suspect that was his primary goal all along. Instead of chasing love, he seemed to be chasing brand deals, event invitations, and perhaps even a return to another reality TV spin-off. "He's turning every rose ceremony into an audition for The Traitors or some Netflix dating show," joked one podcast host recapping the season. The alienation wasn't just from viewers, several of Jonathon's castmates started distancing themselves as well. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.